Peace be with you. Dear friends, we are celebrating 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year B. Today we have a marvelous person. The hero of today's Gospel is Bartimaeus. Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem from Galilee, and he passes through Jericho. And Jesus, as he was coming out of the city, he finds Bartimaeus on the roadside. Now, Bartimaeus was a good man, I would say, because he was outside the city on the roadside begging. Now, why did he do that? Most probably, this man was from Judea, Jerusalem. We are not told anything, but he knew about Jesus. And he was looking for his daily sustenance. And as he was begging, large crowd accompanied by Jesus passes by. And he comes to know that it is Jesus of Nazareth. And what does he do? He cries aloud, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Where did he get that expression? Probably he knew about Jesus, he heard about Jesus. Only thing is that he did not have a personal encounter with Jesus because he was blind. Now this is an opportunity. As soon as he comes to know about Jesus, he cries aloud. And those people ask him to shut up, to be quiet. But he all the more shouts, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." A wonderful lesson for us. It is Jesus on the way is to be in some way connected with the Exodus. Jesus accompanies the people to Jerusalem. He is the new Moses. Now in the Old Testament, we find how Moses led the people of Israel from the land of Egypt through the desert, to the wilderness, to the promised land. And now new Moses, Jesus, is leading people to Jerusalem because they are going to experience that liberation, as he had predicted, that the Son of Man has to die and on the third day he will rise again. So that is his mission. And Bartimaeus, well, the name itself indicates that he does not have a name. Bartimaeus, that means he is the son of Timaeus. We do not know exactly what is his name. He is son of Timaeus. He cries aloud. Dear friends, here we need to take a note of the wonderful gesture on his part. Now he cries aloud to have mercy on him because he wants something very, very essential. And therefore he cries out. Now Jesus stops. In this big crowd, he hears this cry, he stops and calls him. And some of those people who were accompanying Jesus go to him and say, "Cheer up, courage, he's calling you." And what does he do? This is something very dramatic. He throws away his cloak and goes towards Jesus. He throws away his cloak, goes towards Jesus. It means now he knows that something is going to change. By the very fact Jesus has invited him, something is drastically going to change, and therefore he does not need the old way of life. He throws away his cloak, which was helpful for him in begging. He does not need it anymore. He does not need it anymore. Dear friends, in our prayer life, we always present our petitions to God, our intercessions to God. Now, what we should pray? We should pray for something that is really needed in our life. What is really needed? Not the comforts, not the accidentals, not the unimportant things. The most important thing that we need. And Jesus asks him, what do you want me to do for you? Now here there is a contrast, because last Sunday we meditated on those two brothers, James and John, coming to Jesus and asking for a favor. Lord, give us whatever we ask from you. And Jesus asks them, what do you want? What do you want? Now here, Jesus tells Bartimaeus, what do you want me to do for you? Now that is the difference. Because those two brothers had come for obtaining power, the power seats on the left and right of Jesus. But here, Bartimaeus is asking something very, very necessary, essential to his life. He says, Lord, let me see again. That was the most important thing Bartimaeus wanted. And he knew that by getting his sight back, he will be able to do extraordinary things. He could have asked for food, he could have asked for money, he could have asked for anything else. He did not. He asked for something that was most needed. In our prayer life, dear friends, if we can ask God for the things, that is why in Luke's Gospel, Jesus says, if you ask for the Holy Spirit, God will give you the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will tell us what is necessary in our lives. And now, here in this case, the sight that Bartimaeus wanted is in some way connected to his faith experience. He knew that Jesus is able to give him sight, and that will change his life. And Jesus replies to him, your faith has healed you. And immediately he regains his sight. Immediately. It is so quick. The power of the Son of God. If we can ask for the grace to get rid of our blindness in which we are in, maybe we are addicted to something, we are blind to something in our lives that blocks our real progress in spiritual life, that blocks our way to Jesus, that blocks our journey to Jesus. We have to ask for that particular thing, and then everything will be added unto us. That is what Bartimaeus did. Bartimaeus asked for something that was really needed in his life. And that changed him completely. Now look what happens. Bartimaeus, after regaining his sight, he could have just gone back home, just to find a way of life. He could have been very successful because he was a very eager man. But what does he do? He follows Jesus on the way. That's a very important affirmation in this gospel passage. On the way. Jesus was on the way, and therefore this man, Bartimaeus, follows Jesus on the way after gaining his sight. Beautiful, isn't it? He's on the way. Because the early Christians were called the followers of the way. The way is the life of Jesus. We should be on the way. When we gain our sight, when we get rid of our blindness, whatever that blindness may be, our toxic thinking, our addictions, our slavery, our sinfulness, whatever it may be, once we are healed of that, all other things will be fine with us. Instead of asking wealth, money, many other things that are not necessary in our lives, we need to target the things we need essentially so that we can become true disciples of Jesus. That is what Bartimaeus did, and that is what we learn in today's gospel. He is the hero today. And therefore, dear friends, today, when we participate in the Holy Eucharist, as we receive Jesus in our hearts, we can just appeal to Jesus, Son of David, the powerful King, the Messiah, who can transform our lives and make us new. And He will help us to follow the way. We will be on the way with Jesus to Jerusalem. And on this Sunday, let us take some resolution to find out in which kind of blindness we are. There could be multiple types of blindness. We need to target those things that hinder us from coming closer to Christ. When we are able to see with the help of Jesus, then our life will change, we will be better, and we will walk with Jesus on the way. Because Jesus Himself said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. When Jesus is the way, then it is better for us. When Jesus becomes the center of our life, He becomes the one who can help us see better, then our life will be better. We will be able to see many other things and focus our attention on Jesus and follow Him, as Bartimaeus did. God bless you.